Welcome back to AM Live. I'm Monique Graziadei, and we have Marilyn Meyer here today, and you are from?
Indian Grinding Rock State Historic Park.
Because it is special in that order.
Because it is indeed the only state park in Amador County. And it was the home of the first people of Amador County.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show this morning, getting up early and joining us.
Thank you.
And we're just thrilled to have you here. So tell us a little bit about what's going on.
This Saturday, we have a special occasion. We are going to have a guest speaker, Jennifer Bates, who is a California Indian Basket Weaver Association founding member. She's been making basketry and teaching cultural skills and the knowledge of the people that lived here first for over 40 years. And she's worked with some of the renowned leaders in the States and even internationally. So she is quite well known, should be very entertaining. And we also want to hopefully encourage people that might be interested in wanting to volunteer at the park, because we do have a lot of needs for taking care of the park.
What types of positions or skills are you looking for?
Well, if you have any background in teaching at all, we're always looking for school tour leaders, because in California, they learn California history during the 3rd and 4th grade. I find that to be the most fun age to work with. And we have tours going on regularly throughout the school year. And then also there's things for people that want to just be outside. We have trails. We have various maintenance. We have a museum. And there's a lot of fun jobs to be inside the museum and answering and interpreting the past for the present visitors.
And with the museum in mind, what is your position there?
I am a docent or a volunteer, and I do a little of everything because I like to do a little of everything. I like to be outside with the kids. I like to be in the museum where I'm constantly learning, and that's what's going to be so great about this weekend is we're going to get to hear it firsthand from Jennifer Bates to see firsthand the items that the people came to live in this area for, that we have in the park, and how they were able to take everything that they needed from this one small area that we know today as Indian Grinding Rock State Historic Park. And these are some of the things that can be found there that were being used by the people for thousands of years.
About what we're seeing here?
Sure. Well, what made the park so special to get that status as a state historic park was because it has the largest bedrock mortar, meaning a solid rock, with where they could pound their acorn, a perfect food because of the large, magnificent old oaks of 3 different varieties that we have growing there. But the Indians would then take a pestle and pound and grind and process the acorn, the perfect food. And there's over 1,000 of these holes, also in the Miwok term was chausse, that are on this rock. What makes that rock so special is it's the largest rock with the most, over 1,000 chausses and petroglyphs, pictures that were engraved on the rock. It's a really special place. And then we have a museum associated with this park, the Chausse Museum, located there, in which we are attempting to interpret the culture for approximately 10 different tribes that lived regionally in the area.
And tell me a little bit about the perfect food and why this was so important to them.
It's first of all, stores. Stores for up to over a couple of years if you manage to keep it away from the insects, and you'll see the structures that were built there to store it. So it stores well. It's a perfect balance of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, nutrients. You can literally live on just this. So it has a good taste. You can add other things to it.
And you know what I find interesting is we have all of these superfoods, that are becoming we're becoming more aware of them. And this seems like it would be a superfood also. It'd be neat to incorporate it into our diets, at this modern time.
Exactly, and it is. You're going to start seeing this. There was actually an article I had seen recently in the New York Times, I believe it was, that was talking about acorn coming back in as a food source. Yes, all the earliest people had a wonderful way of life and were able to sustain themselves and their families, and yet they still had a lot of time for games and ceremonies. If you come to the park, you're going to find that our roundhouse is being reconstructed. It needed to be rebuilt, and we needed also for that custom. There's a lot of tradition in building the roundhouse, a ceremonial house, and so that's going on right now too with the help of the Jackson Rancheria folks. They've been wonderful, donating lots and lots of time to making the park look great. So if you haven't been there since you were in the 3rd or 4th grade, you need to come back. It's a very special place that you can continue to enjoy.
It's beautiful, peaceful. I've been there a couple of times, just driving in somewhere to eat my lunch, that's quiet. And there's a certain peace about it that is just, it's overwhelmingly just smooth and kind of moving, and just a nice quiet place. There's no one around. I can eat my lunch and just kind of relax and then go on to the next appointment. And I've loved it there. It just has that unique feeling. I think you can only really understand it if you go there yourself, because, before I had not been there up until maybe a year ago, and it was just like an island, like an overwhelming feeling of peace. It's unique. Go there, check it out.
Thank you. You said it best.
And then, actually, I think it's pretty easy to find. Once I've been there, I go, oh, geez, it's not confusing at all. I just went straight up 88 from Jackson, and once I got into Pine Grove, just past the community center, I made a left. I think there's a carpet store, Finesse Carpet, maybe on the corner. Make a left, and then it's just a little ways down on your way to Volcano on the left-hand side, far before Volcano, actually.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
There's a number of ways you can get there, but that seemed, pretty easy to me.
That works.
Yeah. And then tell us a little bit about what else we have here.
Well, again, they had a lot of free time, and in spite of the fact that they were gathering native materials, my favorite plant, and we do have a demonstration garden at the park, and you can see a lot of the plants that they use. And again, Jennifer will demonstrate and talk about them. My favorite being the soaproot plant, the bulb. It's like a daffodil, which are so well known in our county. So it has a bulb. The bulb of which could be pulverized and used as a soap. That's why it's called soaproot.
Okay.
It also will dry and become a glue, and you can see the fibers can be used and made into a brush. And then also the fibers were stuffed, and again, they did have a fair amount, more than we probably have today. It is estimated for games and celebrating life in general. So this was a ball made out of stuffed with soaproot and deer hide wrapped around, milkweed fiber string to hold it all together, and Indian football, as we call it today, was played between boys against girls.
I love that.
The park, and you can see the game field and the roundhouse, which again is so special. The roundhouse at the Indian Grinding Rock State Historic Park is one of the largest, and inside is where they would have their ceremonies, their meetings,
what is this
and rattles. This was a
okay.
ceremonial rattle.
Great. Well, I just want to thank you so very much, Marilyn, for being on the show and for getting up early this morning, and I want to encourage everybody to go out there on March 7th. That's this Saturday. Is that right? From what time?
Right. 10 until 12:30.
10 to 12:30. Thanks again.
Stay with
Thank
us,
you.
and we will be right back.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.